means. Okay, so here you can see web servers example. From here examples are available. Okay, and for component scan yesterday we discussed, right? You can see here from example 66 onwards. Okay, and the documentation also you can refer these Spring IO. Let me keep this link also here in this video. So we will see how to customize the banner. You can go through it. So here they mentioned you can create a banner txt file and keep it into your path somewhere and add that into your Spring configuration file. So it will load a banner. So first of all, let's see what is that banner is all for. Okay. Uh, Switch workspace. Yesterday we did here, right? Just a minute. Almost loading. Yeah. No, yesterday one I'm just referring now. It is hello world, right? Yeah. So as soon as we started this one only, right? Yesterday we tried. Yeah. So we created one application with the web dependency, right? Only one dependency we added, web dependency, Spring Starter Web, and by default it came up with one main method class with the @Spring Boot application, and Spring application dot run. Here I am giving the same class name, which is something like you are loading your XML file into. This is where you are starting IOC container. Starting IOC by loading at the rate the Spring Boot application annotation. This application annotation is kept on top of this class, right? As soon as I give this class, the class level annotations will be getting loaded. From this annotation, it will get your configurations. Usually, what we saw from the last examples, right, in MVC, component scan and annotation driven. The remaining all classes are configured with their specific stereotypes, controllers, so service, so DAOs, components at the rate B. Same stuff, same game you can play here. And we are completely avoiding XML file with at the rate Spring Boot application, as it is showing all the alternatives for your XML. Okay. For activating annotations, we used to activate auto wired, post construct, pre destroy, lifecycle annotations. Without that, annotations are not going to get activated. Okay, just comment that in your example and see what will happen. Auto wiring will not work. MVC annotation driven also we, we have to activate MVC level annotations. Okay, so all these annotations will be by default activated in Spring Boot. You need not to activate them. You need not to specially trigger them. In Spring, we used to perform that. Annotations we used to activate personally. But here you need not to activate them. You need not to ask activate annotations. By default, it will activate all your Spring annotations. Okay. So by default, auto configuration will do that job automatically. It will activate all your annotations, default configurations, default port numbers, everything it will use. Okay. So in simple lines, you can imagine that this Spring application dot run is something like your application context loading into XML. If I need this same application context object here, you can get it. Spring application dot run method. If you open this run method, right, it loads your XML file, static helper that you use to run Spring Boot application from the specified sources using default setting and user supplied arguments. Primary source of the load. So the application arguments usually passed from Java main method running application context. Finally, it will run application context only. Okay, so it is calling run method. Run method is creating application context object. Configurable application context is a application context. It is calling Spring Boot application, and this is calling constructor. Constructor is doing so many things here. You can read through this code. This is internal code. Okay, what it is doing. Resource loader, it is loading resources, primary sources, web application type, bootstrap registry initializers, blah, 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 it is doing. Okay, I don't want to go into internal stuff, but you can get your application context object here. Okay, configurable application context. Using this one, if you want to play anything get been stuff, you can do that here. If you need, else you can just start it. That is enough. Okay, as soon as you load right your application here, it will load all your classes. It will load all your classes from this Spring Boot application context from this packages. So that's why it is creating that all objects here, whatever we declared. And as soon as I start, right, first it is showing a banner here, Spring, a banner showing here. So in case if you don't want that banner, you can customize it. A default banner is getting loaded, right? With the version also, which version you are using. So what they are saying for that, actually that is not required, but just for your reference sake, that's it. So banner is printed on startup can be changed by adding banner.txt. So you can add here in your path, right click new banner.txt. Okay. So here you may put your custom banner, something like this. You need to type yourself. Anything. You can customize this complete lines also. So as soon as you put your banner, you just need to change that banner configuration here. Banner Spring banner location. It is there in resources slash banner.txt. Now if I reload my application, no, it is not getting. Banner.txt. Ah, see, Naveen banner. So my custom banner getting loaded. Usually, right, when you don't want this, we never do these changes. But if you don't want Spring logo here, if you want to take this out, you put your own banner, and maybe you can say the application is starting something instead of this big stuff here, or your application name you can put. Let's say there is a service that is running, admin service started to run. Imagine this is your banner. Okay, now it is not showing that Spring stuff. Okay, so this is how you can customize it if you want, just to differentiate, right, which application currently running from this itself if you want to learn. And it is creating your objects just as usual by loading your Spring Boot application. And if you want that object, if you want that object here, like we practiced in first IOC, right? If you want to get them, get bean. If you need any bean for testing purpose, you can get them here. We have hello controller something, right? Hello, hello, hello. What are their names? Hello world application. Student controller, student business, student controller. It will give that object. If you want to play with it, you can play. Student dot no methods, right? If you have methods, you may perform calls. As usual, they are singletons. Configurations always from resources only. Okay, that is the dedicated default path. If you customize this right, many defaults may not load. By default, this is the path, right? Resources. You put your files here, configurations files, environment variable files. I'll show you that. So your objects are, you got two objects. Got the objects and printed is equal to, it should print to true, right? Oh, by this time, before getting my objects itself, Spring container it is, I mean, Tomcat it is trying to start, right? Getting failed. Okay, let me set one port number apart from the 8080. Server dot port. The default value for it is 8080. So 8080 is currently occupied by my Oracle software. So I'm customizing it to 9090. Now Tomcat also will start. That is the default container, default web server, which is enabled. Okay, it is showing Tomcat started on port 9090. As of now, we don't have any method here. So if you add method, you can hit your controller from method. Let's say if I use at the rate rest controller, and if I have a method here, public string hello, at the rate get mapping, you may put some paths here. When somebody call hello URL, it will give hello response back. So as soon as you've done changes, restart it. And go localhost 90. Which problem? Default port is occupied. My default port is already occupied. One system, do you know how many ports it will have? It will be having around up to 65535 ports. It can provide to you 65535 maximum ports. 0 to 65535. 65,535 ports are available. Out of that, my Oracle software occupied 8080. I have Oracle home. So my Oracle application is already having internal Tomcat which is running on 8080. Another software is already occupied, my Mission 8080 port. Okay, this is also one Tomcat application. Oracle also running on Tomcat. Same port if you try to occupy, right? Nobody allowed. In one mission, if you try to use same port multiple times, it never allowed. So that's why the default port it was using 8080. If you don't configure 8080, it will use by default. See, default it is saying 8080. So what I did, I just override that value here with 9090. Now my Tomcat is not troubling. It is running on 9090. Okay. Yeah. So now I'm calling my 9090 application and slash hello, the URL which I implemented. As soon as I call, it is hitting my controller and giving me response back. See, implementation of simple REST application or web application is simple here. Just you need to create a project. Let's start with controller, put REST controller and start implementing your method here. That's it. No much configurations. No much configurations required. Okay. Next. Hmm. Correct. I changed it to REST controller just to show you one call. Okay. Yeah. You can use any controller. You can use @ controller. You can use REST controller. Up to your use case. We will see that. Okay. Just we used all the annotations to make sure how it is loading into your application. Okay. We have Spring Boot application, either a controller or REST controller or whatever it is, service, repository, component, configuration. Every object will be created as soon as you load this. Okay. So that we understand from that. Now I am showing you to hit your application from the Tomcat. Use this call. We will see more about REST and normal controllers. Okay. Don't bother about it now. And to customize the banner, we use banner.txt in class path. Put whatever banner you want and configure that banner path here. In case if you don't want that Spring logo which is coming here. Okay. Are you clear? Let me take this backup. This is for just a minute. I'll share all these examples. Let me put one. Okay, read me file first. Or I'll add one more file. New text file. This example is covering @Spring Boot application. With the component scan, and we see how it is performing. How it is performing component scan like we did in XML. Okay, and customizing banner. Customized banner.txt added in resources and configured in application properties. And what else? And we learned how to configure changed default port 80802 9090. Use any port. that is not used by any other application. Maximum port we can use from 0 to 65535. Okay, that many ports you can use. So beyond that, if I try to configure 65535 is the last number I said, right? So let's start this application and see. Application is getting started. Application in 65535 port number. You can see the port. Now it is running in 65535. I got same response. Now let me customize this port. Right, during Spring Boot microservice implementations, you always writing so many applications side by side. You will be writing so many applications. So with one port number, you can't run them parallel. If you want to run all that applications and connect them together, right? You can't run them. So you need to put different port number for each application. So if I configure 65536, just one more number and run it. Hmm. Failed to start web startup. Why you failed? Error. Exception occurred during canceling refresh attempt. Failed to start. Range. Correct. Port is out of range. If I used beyond that, showing out of range. If you use out of that range, you will get port out of range error. Yeah, we changed and ran. Yeah. Is it not refreshing your view screen? Maybe you must have delay. Uh, Check Prakash. Yeah. Yes, go ahead. Hello. Yeah, someone wants to please ask a question. Who's that? Okay. Yeah. So beyond this, you should not keep your port number, and few ports are already reserved ports. Check. I don't know, but let me Google it. How to check reserved ports? How to check reserved ports in Windows? Net start ANO. Okay. It is saying go to CMD and great. Yeah, I never tried before, but yeah, it is showing C port IDs. Hmm. Are these are the ports? The last numbers, maybe, right? Okay, great. So it is showing the local address, the port number by default 000 giving, and port number 135, 445, 150, 1521. Arkle is using it. MySQL 3306 using it. See, these all are already reserved. So excluding these reserved ports, you can use remaining. It it may vary, okay, from your machine and my machine. Depends on the software. Yeah, yeah. I'm sure. Net start netstat hyphen al netstat space al. Okay. So if you see, while putting your custom port number, still if it is giving error like reserved, ensure that which all ports are already reserved. Go to this file and check. Okay. So you can see the maximum ports it occupied. Mm, let me 204 up to 204 ports are occupied. 204 or 203 default ports are already occupied. 8080, if you see, this is also occupied by R. So that's why we configured 9090. So if you start your application, maybe your application port also it will list here. We started 9090, right? So as soon as you start your applications, you can check which all ports it occupied. If I put some port here, 63636, and if you start, so 63636 will be occupied. That also will show in your, yeah, it is started in 63636. So 63636, that is also now occupied. Okay. So just to verify which all ports are available and configure your required port here. And you should not exceed that limit. I don't know supercomputers if they have, but maximum is 65535 for any machine, I believe. Okay. So if it is your Linux machine or Windows machine, during configuration, you specify the ports. Okay. If you are using single machine for multiple applications, set unique port for each application. Okay. Clear, right? So nice. At least I learned. I never tried that actually. So the command is open cmd in Windows and run below command. It will show all reserved ports. So you can pick new port which is not reserved by any other application. Okay. And the range, as I said, range is between 0 to 65535 is the max. Here. So that's it guys for today. Tomorrow I'll show you profiles concept, a big concept. Okay, profiles with multiple types of files. I'll show you. Okay, for today I think I'm done. Yeah. Any questions? Yes, Nitin. These are the important concepts, right? We will be having 15 to 20 more sessions. I don't want to wrap it up. Okay. I mean, I don't want to run and so. Dheeraj, we concluded 8:15. Dheeraj, isn't it? Okay. Somebody said 8:30 late, so I started 8:15. Okay. Yeah, nothing we discussed today. If you want me repeat, I'll repeat it again. Just I discussed about this banner dot uh, customizing banner from this IO document, right? I referred how to customize this banner, this concept, customizing banner. Always please refer this document, okay? Lot of things, you can read and customize your application. Easily you will understand. Okay, so to customize banner, what they are saying is asking to create banner.txt. So I created one banner.txt file in this resources folder. So and I put one some statement here. What it will do is spring, it will show right during run that banner it is override. Spring logo we used to get here before. Now that logo is overriding with your customized banner. Okay, if you don't want Spring, if you want to put your application name or something, your own banner, your organization name, if you want to put here, RPO, add banner, you can customize it, right? It will give you your custom banner. Let's say if you are designing frameworks and if you are, releasing them as a open sources, if you want to put your contact information, as soon as they start, they always should see your contact number and email address. You can put in your banner and you may advertise. Okay, so you can put customizing banners and that customized banner path you can pass here. Spring.banner.location. Just give that file name. If it is abcd.txt, you can put abcd.txt. And for this banner colors also you can apply. They mentioned here, but I am unable to run it. You can try that. Colors also they said you can apply and see background name, background property. Somewhere colors they mentioned. Colors for logs. Logs I can understand. You might try it banner with colors. Or if somebody tried, we will copy it. So, custom banner with okay. So this is also you can refer. for Spring. Okay, Spring and many things are providing here. Okay, for background, right? I'll see background, right? Oh, is it? For example, background color. If you put, yeah, they played with it. So let me put this reference also. For colored banners, refer this. Okay, just around your banner, you can apply this. In our case, right? So, so these are the keywords: ANSI background, dot color, the documentation also they mentioned. You can use the actual color name, ANSI color. Maybe this is for font color, right? Nothing changed. I don't see nothing changed here. Do I need to enable it? Check it. Where name is the name of fancy escape code. Import. Yeah, we are using this at the rate value, all that, right? Fancy back. We have examples also. You can refer some examples I given. Spring EL examples. Somewhere you can find. Yeah, check this example 32. You may try this, okay? Just refer this document. I don't want stay here. So yeah, maybe you try. Spring Boot 1.3 onwards we have this. Background colors apply but not working. And how it is working for them. No. Rainbow colors. Okay, you try it and tell me tomorrow if it is working. Okay. Yeah, that's all for today. I want to learn more content, but I feel getting less. Which one you are feeling, Dheeraj? Usually, who takes the regular sessions, they will spend 10 to 15 months to cover Spring. As I know, right, from the working side, I don't want to entertain and eat your time. So, all that miscellaneous concepts actually you can learn. You can go through them, which are we never, never use them much in development. So I don't want to spend time for this fast track batch, right? And I can't go in detail into everything, but I promise whoever comes here, right, for this batch, they will become experts from the development side. So that is my main motto. Uh, I want to make the development part simple. Whoever learning here, if I go to all the concepts, definitely it will eat lot of time, and the main core concept, right, the main which is important, that we will mislead until finishing from day one to the last session, right? I'll keep a connection between all the topics and travel, so it will be easy to you to imagine what is Spring and how to code or how to architect it. So going into each and every topic, depth and depth, you know, nothing helps you much, and that is not even possible here for our 60-day sessions. Yes, we have till 20 sessions. So much, so many things from microservices we need to discuss. Yeah, a lot of topics. Don't worry, huge content we have still. But learning curve is simple from here onwards. You can easily play with all the concepts. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Just stay. Or be patient until finishing all the sessions. And if you feel something that you need, let me know. Okay. Don't get into conclusion in the middle itself. Okay.